All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Apothecary Diaries, Season 2, Episode 14.
Ooh. A ghost!
A ghost.
In the bath.
Yep, and also an imposter, but they don't know about that one yet.
No. They'll get to that one.
Right. Eventually. But for now, yeah, let's get some garlic and some salt and go hunting the supernatural.
Yeah, I love the way that we've been dealing with a lot of like creepy, kind of like old things that are getting like dredged up naturally by just people wanting to like share little stories here.
Yep.
But the way it might actually be tied to the potential like skeletons in the closet of the Imperial Palace and stuff.
We already have one attempted Kool-Aid, you know. So what's this one gonna be?
I'm curious about this because there's some history with regards to the what is the pure consort?
Lishu's pavilion, but also
no, she's the which consort is it? It's the virtuous consort.
Virtuous consort.
Thank you.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, pure consort was Adwo.
Right.
But Lishu also had issues with her ladies in waiting. So is this like it's haunted and there's a thing of that nature, or is it just she's being bullied again?
I think this is something older because like with the stuff that we've been focusing on, it seems to be like a consistent thing of everything to do with the previous generation, the previous emperor, and all this stuff with this.
Yep.
Now this could be completely connected to the bullying side of things, but I feel like that's waned somewhat,
right?
Given that we now have a proper lady in waiting. Over Lady Lishu now.
It's the classic thing of this show loves to introduce mysteries, and the people in the world will have an explanation for it that is almost certainly wrong. But as far as what we know of what it could be, and what Mau Mau knows of what it could be, there's always multiple options, which then plays into Mau Mau's whole thing of if it's above her pay grade, it's just like, hey, it could be that super sus intrigue thing, or it could be like something else.
Yeah.
I'm not going to think about it too much.
I'm not going to think about that. I like my head where it is. So
exactly.
You know what? That's what we're going to do. But yeah, this is also all in the context of, yes, Shisui, hanging out around them here. She did dip out.
Once Lishu showed up.
The whole thing, once Lishu was there, which was very like,
Yep.
But meanwhile, we've also got one of the trio from Gyokyu here as well, just kind of being like, okay, I'm here.
I'm not fraternizing with the enemy, my lady. I promise.
I swear. Yep.
That juice was really good, but no.
Okay, so this is what they meant by like Mau Mau does go just and hang out with everybody, I guess. You know? All right, cool. But all right, y'all. Without further ado, let's get into this. Huh. That's what made her like not a fan of it. She's like, this is a waste of our time. We don't get paid for this. Like,
why not contact management?
Yeah.
Sure.
Dancing ghost. Oh, she's here. What's that smirk?
You did indeed.
Oh, definitely not. Bro's got a frog. Yes, he does.
He's got that frog in him.
Yeah.
She's trying so hard not to laugh.
Thank you.
Okay.
What? Bro. Gosh, oh my god. I'm sorry for my stupid son. They're like T. What is it? Yes. The legend of the frog grows.
Yeah. She's starting to see all this in a different light. We're gonna do an exorcism.
Oh.
Yeah.
リーチュ様はこちらの物置の窓から奇妙な人影を見たというのです。
どんな人影が見えたのですか？
Yeah, yeah.
リーシュ様はそうやって皆の気を引きたがるのですわ。
You're gonna talk like that when the boss is here?
それを諌めるのが本来次女頭の務めだと思いますのに。
You're not gonna be head lady in waiting for long. Oh wait, no, she isn't. Ah.
口ぶりからするとあの偉そうな次女は元次女頭か。毒味役にその座を奪われて日常的に嫌味を言いたくなるほど悔しいのだろう。
Yeah.
しかし、妃の話を聞くのも私の務めです。
Ah, kill you with kindness.
取らないでいただけますか？
Step off, bitch. Yes.
少し喉
Oh,
が渇くの。
go get me something. Amazing. Banish them. Yes.
Yep.
Damn, he's good.
本当はぬるめがいいのに、次女たちはいつも熱いお湯を用意する。
Oh, again, the temperature thing again. Yeah.
お風呂は
Right.
我らにいた時から一人で入っていました。着替えだけカナンに。
Oh. They're on a first name basis. Yeah.
Yeah.
窓は閉まっているのに、ゆらゆらとカーテンが揺れていて、白い顔が笑いながら踊っていたのです。
Well, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
近くにはカナンしかいませんでした。カナンも同じ幽霊を。
Yeah. Okay, good. So someone else saw it. Yeah.
幽霊は消えていて、カーテンは何事もなかった。
Whoa.
Oh shit.
それにしても変な間取りだ。水晶球や翡翠球では湯殿は別棟になっていて、
But here, yeah.
くつろげる空間がある。ではどうして物置に？
それは
Oh.
こちらを見ていただけると。
Oh.
All right, what do we got?
Yeah. Mold.
ひどくカビ。
Yeah.
結果、物置にしてごまかしたと。
Oh, dang.
Okay.
Ugh.
この建物は他より古いんですか？
いいえ、むしろ新しいです。
No.
リーシュ様が受代された時に建てられた。
Okay.
この穴の先は高級の水路
No way. No
Oh
way.
shit.
締め切った窓、揺れるカーテン、そして抜かれた風呂の線。
Whoa.
床が歪んで隙間ができている。
Mm-hmm.
だとすると、この下に水路が通っているか確認できませんか？
Yeah, so that could have been funneled into the water.
Oh.
湯がこの下を通れば湯気で床や
Yeah.
しやすくなる。
Okay.
そして湯気がこの隙間
Yeah.
で風を起こし、カーテンを揺らしたのです。
Yep, mirror. Yeah.
以前はよく使ってたの。今は特使が送ってきた鏡があるから。
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
毎日磨かれているのですね。
Bring up the mirror again, you know?
鏡だ。
It's a lot of touch points to set up the foreshadowing for whatever's coming.
こちらを向けるとよく映るやもしれません。
Whoa.
投光管と呼ばれることもある跳ね返した光が絵や文字に。
Dang. Yeah. That's so cool.
That's awesome.
That's why it's a precious thing to her as well. It might literally like have like an image reflected of her mother or something
Right.
in it.
これはいろいろな偶然が重なって生まれた幽霊だったわけだ。
Cool.
お母様に似ている気が。
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
踊るのが好きだったって聞いたの。私を産んだ後、体を壊して踊れなくなって。
Oh. Well, that's why you're
Ouch.
holding on to this because it was hers, but no. It more says that this girl's under
Yeah.
a lot of stress. Oh my
She's still a
gosh.
kid. She's got all kinds of.
She's been traumatized.
Yeah.
She's had just
母 う気持ちはよくわからない。
Ah.
けれど、リーシュ妃にとっては、補助を抱くに値する
Important enough to warrant sentiment. Damn, Bow Wow.
Yeah.
リーシュ様、何を泣いているのですか？皆様の前で恥ずかしいですよ。あら、その鏡、まだ持っていらしたのですか？様にいただいた鏡があるのだから。
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Watch yourself.
And you're just a lady in waiting.
よく確認もせず取るのはいかがなものかと思います。
Oh, he died
Nice.
too.
これも可視されたものでしょうか。
Oh.
ついたものを一自助風情が身につけるとは分不相応と思わなかったのですか。今後は自分の立場をわきまえない行動はやめていただきたい。
She saw her life flash before her eyes there.
Yeah.
Also, wear the same color as the other ladies in waiting from now on.
あの人じゃない？素敵。
また新入りを覗きに来たのか。
The new guy. Yeah, yeah, sure. Meow meow.
気に
Yeah.
なりそうな薬を調べてるのかい？
はい。
もう勘がは作られないんだから調べなくていいのに。
Oh, it's not for that.
ああ、昔は証明書があれば入れたけど、いろいろ不正があってね。
A lot of them? Really?
今は触診だ。
掴むんですか？
駆けつけすぎ。一応出入りするたびにやってるよ。
What?
宦官でなければ
That's
高級に
that's a
Okay.
lot.
皇帝とその血族のみ。とすれば人士様。
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it can't be.
早めに決めてしまわないと面倒なこと
Uh-huh.
さっさとこちら側に引き入れろというのだろう。だが軍師殿が出張ってくるぞ。大尉官羅官。
Uh-huh.
数年前にジップとイボ邸から家督を奪い、ラの家の主となった男は大尉という立場でありながら、どこの派閥
Which makes him very valuable.
And potentially dangerous for people.
という暗黙の了解が宮廷内でできている。しかし、マオマオを
Right.
引き入れるつもりなら、なぜ今の立場にいるのか、なぜ本
Right.
当の姿を隠しているのか、あいつに知ってほしい。
But she does not want to
その
know.
後、どんな反応をするのか。
Oh, see,
La la la.
he's like I care about her and yet
Oh, yeah.
like ah
こちらは新しい案件です。
Oh, what's this new one?
新入りの宦官に色目を使う女官がいる。
慎重に考えませんと。
sure.
一応形として
Yes, good, good, good,
All right,
good, good.
awesome.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
痩せていてどこか怯えているな。元奴隷たちは
Come on, Jinji.
あれが噂の宦官か。左腕をどうかしたのか。
ひどい折檻を受けたようで、体の左側がしびれているとのことです。
Interesting.
それにしても人気者だな。
ええ、頭はいいらしく、女官たちへの気配りがうまい。
Very, very thoughtful, yes.
なんだ。
言えることで
Gaosha is just like, yada yada, does it?
人たちはどうだ。
人士様、
Oh, the.
どうしてくれんだ。妃の上級妃のための氷だぞ。
ごめんなさい。
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Oh no.
all right.
Oh, Xiaolan. Oh no.
Well, that's
Oh no.
okay. Okay.
Jinshi is just.
Jinshi knows how to be terrifying. when he
Jinshi
needs
is
to
the
be.
goat. Like,
And
he
I love how he'll be
Uh-huh.
so kind and like charming and everything.
Yes.
Right up until the point where he's not. And it's to the point where people won't realize right away just like how deeply they've stepped in shit.
Right.
Like
Right. He even goads you and guides you to admit specifically to him, I'm sitting in this shit because it's you're here, Jinshi. I did. Oh, you look down at your feet and then you look back up and his face is completely changed and dropped.
Yeah.
It's really cool to see that in some ways, Jinshi wouldn't do this as often, I would say, before Mao Mao. This is a bit of an extrapolated thing, but in some ways I think that Jinshi has seen the way that Mao Mao
Can sniff things out.
but also specifically kind of drop the law on somebody in the same way that like she smacked down
Yeah. No.
the lady with
I like it. Yeah.
before with yes, but
At the very least, it's something where over the course of this show, things in the rear palace have gotten spicy, and spicy in a way that is brought to the attention of Jinshi, whereas before a lot of it was probably kept concealed and underneath the surface, right?
Right. You didn't have a woman that could go in between a whole lot of the different high consort pavilions and basically curry the favor of all of them individually in a way where they would let things basically be made visible, not just because Mao Mao's so competent in her own areas of perception, but specifically because they actually do like Mao Mao.
Right. All the little mysteries or whatever that Mao Mao has uncovered that weren't like specifically begun in the show were just ongoing beforehand, and no one was the wiser, right?
Right.
So it makes sense that Mao Mao's presence would have made Jinshi more like, I see. Like, I definitely would be willing and capable and able and all of that stuff to lay down the law if needed, but I might not have been aware just how much it was needed, in certain areas. And so then it's the, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Let's go.
After all, there have been little boys dying very, very consistently before the show began.
Yep.
So now here we've got a situation where obviously the bullying was muted a little bit, given what happened before.
Yep.
But now that it's being handled a little bit more subtly, it needed some kind of thing to be brought in that had nothing to do with the bullying.
Right.
Entirely. The actual reason why it happened, though, is somewhat connected to the fact that because they run the bath so hot, she ended up taking her baths later in the day.
Yep. And also the fact that they don't really respect her, so they don't clean and things like that if they can get away with it, right?
Right.
The mold shows up and they're like, okay, we'll just cover that up.
Yeah, and to be fair, I think that aspect was something that was not part of the bullying, but it just shows that they're coasting by and they're not taking pride in their work here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I love how Jinshi just came in here and just nipped it right in the bud.
Yes.
I like how it was something where we got to see the ways in which the previous head lady in waiting was like, clinging to her power and all that stuff to the point where like it was at an egregious level. Even the ornament aside, right?
Yeah.
Because that's the concrete thing that Jinshi can point at. She was talking like she was the person of highest station in this area. Like that's damn.
Yeah,
That's bold.
There's a specific kind of age-related arrogance that I think comes into play here as well, which I think needs to be addressed because this is actually a problem in a lot of areas, just in our real world as well, in that if you have a manager who is younger than you, I say this as somebody who is literally in this position, where there's people that are going to be older than me that have to take orders from me when I was like 20 years old or something.
They might not like it very much.
Well, they not only just don't like it, but they consider it wrong. Like, they're like, this is wrong. Like, I have been here for 10 years. And, like, in a very classic example, I worked at Best Buy. And within, like, 6 months of working there, I was immediately put as basically the direct lead for my station in my area. And thus my supervisor would come to me specifically and be like, hey, how's things going here? And anytime I talked about the way in which like we weren't doing as a team, like our part well, the people that were older would come to me and be like, why'd you do that?
Yeah.
Like, why'd you tell him honestly, basically, like what we're doing here? And I'm like, that's my job.
Yeah.
And the thing that was implied was basically that, you're young, you're stupid. If you knew better, you wouldn't do that because that's going to negatively affect all of our work stuff here. And I basically like had to have that point of like, hey, like there's probably a reason why you've been here for like 8 or 9 years and you're still in the spot where you are. So like step off basically.
Yeah.
And it was something where I wasn't specifically calling out individual people of being like they're the problem or something like that. But I was like, no, as a team, like I took ownership of that. That's something that we can do better.
It's not the machine is not functioning very well right now.
Yeah. And within about, I don't know, 4 months or so from there, maybe 3 or 4 months, they eventually like cooled off in that regard. But there was a very like not like bullying, but kind of like a standoffish, like, we're not going to bring you...
We are not accepting that you're in charge.
Right, yeah, we're not going to trust you. We're not going to do any of that stuff there.
So
but,
the example that I have of that, and you probably had this too, we would work a summer job growing up.
Yeah.
And you could start very young at the summer job, 14, and start working, right?
Yep.
But then there would also be a bunch of exchange students that would come in as like their, traveling college, all that stuff,
they're like
right?
20 or something.
Yeah, exactly. And some of these exchange students, man, they were built. Like, they
big guys.
Big dudes. And, I totally get it. They didn't necessarily like it when the scrawny 16, 17-year-old is like, hey, you're not supposed to do it that way, right? Like, they're like... You are, half my size, right? Like, really?
Imagine a point where Jacob was half anyone's size.
Right. They've just been like, hey, it's supposed to be this way, And they're just like, what?
Where do you get off?
Where do you get off? And it's like, well, I've been here for 4 years, and you're the newbie, so...
You've been here for a week, so...
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just looking out for you, dude.
Yeah, exactly. But like, that is a very real thing. It doesn't just go... It doesn't end just because you leave you are officially of this societal status,
Right. It is something that I think is probably a thing that where these women are at, in that from their perspective they have hit the jackpot in that they get to serve a high consort here.
Yep.
Like one of the 4 consorts, for the Imperial Palace. And in some ways, they got also the worst one from a station perspective.
Sure.
In that the Emperor is not going to sleep with her. The Emperor is not going to elevate her to the Empress at any point ever.
Right.
Therefore, they have also capped their social progression other than being the head lady in waiting of this pavilion. So the head lady in waiting is like, I am fiercely competitive about this role here. Some shit was going on, therefore I lost that position. Yep. I am still salty about this. And all the women with me are probably in that same kind of position as well.
Because I was leading the ship before then,
Right. Yeah. And there was probably some benefits being circulated around.
Well, and so on the one hand, they won the jackpot, but also got the worst of winning the jackpot, right? Because, Emperor's not sleeping with her. On the other hand, they won the jackpot in a different way.
Sure.
Because she's a kid. And so
they
can
be here forever.
Right. But also, they can make her do pretty much whatever they want. I fully believe that ex-head lady in waiting, she somehow got Li Shu to give that to her as a gift of some kind. Right? In the like, I'm an old person, I can generally manipulate you to do kind of whatever I want. Right? And that wearing it was kind of like a point of pride for her, and or a testament to the other ladies in waiting that I run this place, right? And so it's even though we won't get elevated past this, this is ours.
And it had been so long this way, reminder of how old Li Shu is, and that it had been so long this way and wearing it, that when Jinshi comes around, she doesn't even think about the fact that it's on her head.
Right.
One, because,
Yeah, it's not the health inspectors here, quick, make everything look nice,
Right.
No, this is business as usual.
Right. If anything, grown too fat and lazy on your power and your corruption, that it's just like, Oh, this whole thing? Oh, yeah. I forgot it was even there, you know?
Right.
I love a good comeuppance in that regard. Now, this is not going to change anything necessarily forever, but it is the kind of reminder that Jinshi can just come up and take your delicate little machine that you've got running here, pull the pin out from it, and then just go, now sit on that grenade.
Yeah.
Like, I order you
to sit
sit on it.
Right. That's why she was so terrified. It's not because Jinshi was upset with her.
Right.
It was the, holy shit, I still have my head.
Right.
All right.
I'm alive.
All right. Okay.
He's gone, right?
Yeah,
like he's not sending soldiers or eunuchs or...
Yeah, he didn't have me get dragged away or anything. All right.
Right. It's such a terrifying reminder to us that, one, Jinshi is functionally the second most powerful man in the entire Imperial Palace from like an influence perspective.
Oh yeah, and from the rear palace, he is literally the second most powerful. It's the Emperor comes walking around.
Totally,
that's it.
But then they don't even know this, but they might even have, rumors or stuff or what have you, that he is actually, in terms of who he really is, he's the second most powerful man in the country.
Yeah, he's mysterious powerful on top of just, he's all of our boss. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just fun to see him wielding that power.
Right. But, hey, we get the positive, fun comeuppance example of that power being wielded, and then we leave the episode off with I think that power might be about to be wielded, because Xiaolan, I guess she did some mistake or whatever, and the ice fell on the ground.
Yeah, I think she might have been just trying to help and ended up dropping something. Now, I don't immediately suspect weird foul play, but obviously my brain is...
Oh, no, yeah.
My brain is already full of sussery.
All 30 of these people could be double agents because we already know at least one of them is. And I would not be surprised if there was an element of, we need to remove Mao Mao from the situation. And so we can't attack her directly because, of course, that's not going to go well. So instead we attack the people that she's, with, basically.
Just the idea that, reminder, Suirei, that is her name, right? Yeah, Suirei.
Or Suiren.
No, not Suiren. Nope. Suiren is the older lady.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Right, Suirei. Yeah. She is the most terrifying... Suirei. She is the most terrifying threat Mao Mao has ever faced.
Yep. And she's just here.
That she won. She got away.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, she had to move heaven and earth in order to make that work.
Oh, absolutely.
She pulled the ruse of the century.
Right, but
that's how intelligent she is.
She almost assassinated Jinshi and got away with it.
Through indirect means or direct means, we'll cross that bridge once Jinshi's life gets threatened again, kind of thing. But for now, she's here. Potentially in league with Lolan.
Yep.
Potentially in setup for something that's a bit grander than even what could be considered like the most direct kind of attack against this country, killing the sole heir. The soul's secret heir reminder.
Right. Well, okay, so and this is where I want to go into a little bit, but the fact that she's here, that means that what they're planning is big enough that they are willing to risk doing something as bold as this, right?
Well, as bold as just having her here.
Exactly.
She could just get noticed and then
and in
jig
fact,
is up.
That might happen in the next episode. She might have to duck away for a bit because, Jinshi was in the middle of interacting with you, and then, surprise, there's a disruption over there in the street that Mao Mao is, close to, right? Like your proximity is not like it's this.
Yeah. So I don't think Jinshi will recognize her.
I don't think so either. I think Mao Mao would.
Jinshi sees hundreds of eunuchs all the time. They're all wearing the same clothes.
Yep.
It's going to be extremely hard for him to recognize her. But I like that they're bringing up with the quack doctor. Specifically,
how do you verify
the way that they verify? Because basically, what they verify is that there's
nothing there.
There's nothing there. There's no cock.
And I love that.
That's cool, but that doesn't actually work against someone who's just not going to have a penis to begin with.
No, but I love it because it's something where it feels so apropos for the times and the way that women would be seen and treated, where it's we literally don't care who you are as long as you don't have a dick, right? Like, because
it's that simple.
It's that simple.
Jeez,
right?
yeah.
Like you don't have that, great. We don't need to verify that you're actually a eunuch, that you're
even who you are,
or that you're even who you are, right? Like it's we'd like to know who you are and all that stuff, but
could you get somebody pregnant to where we would end up thinking that it was the emperor's child?
Right.
No, okay, we don't fucking care.
Yeah. Like,
wow.
Yeah. So, that's all kinds of fun and spicy and all that stuff.
This is also on the back of them realizing that they changed the system of the way that the eunuchs were identified because of the documents being so many fraudulent ones coming in that it became a problem.
Yeah.
Which, this guy's old. Like, the quack doctor, he's not young. Like, he's been
around for a bit.
He's been around. I would put him in his 40s, probably like low 40s, but he's not young.
Right.
So he knows like when the system was worse or potentially even, stuff from the previous emperor.
He's probably been here a minimum of 10 years.
Well, yeah, we know he's been here at least as long, probably almost as long as Jinshi's been alive,
Yeah, he was good point. Yeah, he was probably brought in when Luomen was kicked out.
Yeah, he might have been in as like an assistant or something, but we'd have to go back and see if they even care to bring up his character. What was his name again? Gwen, I believe. Yeah. But I love the way in which he just accidentally just exposits like really important stuff because he's such an idiot, but also his motivations are just that he loves being here.
Oh yeah, he's got a good job.
Bro is like...
Also, he paid with his dick for this job, so...
He did, actually.
So, hopefully you have job security because you're not getting that back.
He doesn't have much competition. There's no thing.
The severance package, shall we say, for working in the Rear Palace.
Are you about to make a severance package? You did. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a great joke.
Thank you.
I was gonna say like severance package. The second you said that, I was like, God damn, that's perfect. Yeah.
But okay, man. I'm worried because Mao Mao is not actually of high station herself. Right.
Yeah, but she's kind of cheated that out by just having Jinshi's favor.
No, totally. But as far as
yeah.
But as far as Xiaolan's life goes, I think that could very well be in jeopardy right now.
Maybe, yeah. And then more Jinshi's frog mentioning. The legend continues. It spreads. Keep going with that.
Indeed.
So, yeah, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon and get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general. Also, be sure to check out our Twitch channel, see if any of that interests you. We'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.